I'll be introducing our guests, and just reading a short bio of our guests, and then she will take over from there. All right, so Eloisa Ibok has been writing stories since she was 8 and now uses her creative skills to write copy that converts. With a background in tech and finance, she brings fresh strategic insights to e-commerce brands, helping them connect with their audience and drive results. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Eloisa. We really, really appreciate your presence. And I'd like to apologize for the low turnout, but I believe that most people would join as we proceed with the class. Thank you. You can take over now.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright, hi Reret. Hi Onyi, thank you so much for having me. It's a joy to be here. Okay, so let's just dive right in because of the time we have. Hopefully others join later. Let me just share my screen so we can start. So I have, like I said, I've been writing since I was 8 years old. I've been writing creatively since I was 8 years old, and of recent I've been thinking of how to turn my passion into profit. And I thought about the skill set I had, which was data copywriting. So let's get into what's copywriting. Is focus of persuading, with the purpose of focus of persuading your audience. These are your readers, viewers, depending on whether you're writing copy for maybe websites or YouTube videos, to take a specific action. This action could be to subscribe to a newsletter, to subscribe to a channel. It could be to buy a product. It could be in content writing tends to be more informational, while copywriting is sales driven, it's action driven, it's persuasive. So let's look at the elements of good copy. So to write a good copy, these are the 4 things that must be there, and 4 things that you notice in any copy that catches your eye, whether it's a landing page, a social media post, a YouTube video, an ad on Facebook. These things have to be there. The number 1 thing is your headline. Your headline is, I would say, the most important part of any copy you write, because that is your attention grabber. Your headline will determine whether or not people click on what you've read. If you write a stellar article and the body of the article is absolutely wonderful and everything, but your headline is not attention grabbing, the chances that people are going to organically click on that article to read it are very low. So there are different types of headline formats that you can use. There's the list headline, where you say, 20 ways to do this, and there's the there's the how-to headlines, how to XYZ. So there's different ways, there's different headlines that you can research. There's courses on that, how to write headlines that grab attention-grabbing headlines. So just basically 80% of your time when writing anything should be spent on thinking of what headline can I use, or what headline can I write that is going to grab the attention of people. Keeping in mind that you don't want to lie. You don't want to say that they are going to make $20,000 in 2 minutes when they are not going to. In your headline, you don't want clickbait that is outrageous, because it reduces your credibility, and the next time they see a post from your site, they are going to think twice before clicking. They see 1 post like that, they see 2 posts like that, where the headline is misleading, then it's going to reduce the credibility of your work, and less people will trust you, and that means you have less conversion, you have less people taking the actions that you want them to take. So you should have headlines that grab attention, but at the same time, they are not misleading. Make a promise in your headline read this article to learn how to write in 5 minutes. Meaning it's a 5 minutes read, and they'll get the basics of writing in the 5 minutes that they read the article. The next thing is your message. This is just basically what you are telling your audience. Your message should be clear, meaning that it is easy to understand. It's not full of a lot of jargons and fluff and just unnecessary English that makes things confusing. It should be clear and easy to understand for your audience and for basically anyone that picks up what you've written to read. You shouldn't, as a customer that is reading your work, they shouldn't be confused as to what you are driving at. You shouldn't be selling a shoe and using so much large grammar to explain what you're saying. It should be concise. If you can write it in one sentence, don't use 5 sentences to explain it. If you can say it in 5 words, don't use 10 words to explain it. That also ties into making the message clear. When you shorten, think of the best way possible. Writing involves a lot of thinking, a lot of thought, a lot of research, and as you write more, you get better at doing these things. Think of the best way you can say something and the shortest way you can say something. Copywriting should be like an arrow, like a bow and arrow. You are shooting at a specific target, and you want to hit that target, and that is the aim of your copywriting. The target is to get your reader to take an action. And so if your words fall flat, they are not going to take the action that you want them to take. That's why you need to be intentional about every sentence. Every sentence should have a purpose in your writing. And so if it does not have a purpose, consider taking it out, because it's not. The next thing would be your message should be compelling. Create an emotion with your writing. With copywriting, it's all about not just marketing and sales, but sales and marketing actually is all about creating an emotion within people. For instance, Apple creates that emotion of feeling among. It creates that luxury. It makes you feel as if you're of maybe a higher class than other people. That's the emotion it creates. Nike creates that emotion of motivation. It creates motivation. That's the emotion they are selling. So you ask yourself, what emotion am I selling? What emotion am I trying to create? What emotion am I evoking in my readers? What is going to drive them to take this action? Is it a sense of security? Is it the feeling of happiness? Is it feeling like they are better than other people? Because there are different things, and this leads to your audience. Knowing who your specific audience is will help you to craft a better message. So doing your audience, create a customer persona. A customer persona is just basically a document or an avatar that has details of your specific customer. This is your customer down to the T. So you could say maybe you're writing to women who are 25, transitioning from a career in banking into tech through the route of data analysis. And so that's a very specific target audience. So when you are writing, you are thinking, what do 25-year-old women look for when they are transitioning careers? So when you're doing your research for your writing and your tone and the emotion you're creating, you're doing it based on that. What emotion are 25-year-old people looking for? Is it security? What are people who are transitioning from one job or one career to the other? You can niche down, you can narrow down with your research, and it's easier to scrape information because you have the specifics. And when you're talking to them, your message hits harder because it is tailored specifically for their needs. It is tailored specifically for what they need. Will other people read it and buy or take the actions that you want them to? Definitely, but it is when you create specifics, it is better when you create a specific audience. It is better for you to it is easier to get your readers to take the actions that you need them to take. For instance, if you are writing generally, you're talking to everybody. I think there's a saying that says, when you talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. When you yes, you can drop comments in the chat box. When you create your audience persona. You can still generalize it, but still within that persona that you have created. So for instance, you could say 20 people in, you could say maybe not just women, people in their 20s transitioning from a career in finance to a career in tech, and you're writing specifically for these people. It is easier for you to get customers. It is easier for you to make conversions because your message is tailored. I don't know how else to stress that, but it's very important that you do research on your audience. Find who it is you're talking to. Don't say, oh, I want this thing to be for everybody. If it's for everybody, then you have 1,000 readers who are not taking action because the product is not for them, and therefore it's not sparking any emotion in them. They are not subscribing to your newsletter. They are not following your page because, oh, the content is interesting. I like their writing style. Oh, they are very creative with the examples they give, but it is not useful to them because they are like, oh, I don't know who is going to need this. I don't really need this at this time in my life. But when you niche down, when you're talking to one specific person, for instance, if you were telling me about, I'm very passionate about my hair and hair care products. So if you were to come to me and say, oh, you are a natural hair person in your 20s, and this product is specifically tailored for people who are in their 20s, who take care of their natural hair, for it to grow, to take care of it when it's in protective style, I'll be interested. And I will most likely take the action you want me to take because this product, I believe, is for me at where I am specifically. So that's it on your audience. Do a lot of research, put a lot of thought. Knowing your audience will help you to, like I said, create the emotion. So you know whether to create a sense of urgency. You know whether whether you are selling urgency, whether you are selling security. Most people who are transitioning from one job to the other, the emotion they are looking for is security. They are looking for a sense of stability. And so you can sell that to them. A sense of stability in the sense that you are selling the ideas you have, not the ideas, what's the word? You are marketing basically what you know. You're saying, oh, sign up to this newsletter or buy this course, and I will show you a complete guide on how you can do this the easy way. You're giving them a sense of stability. They are no longer in a rocky boat. They are now on solid ground because you've helped them do that, because you've crafted a message specifically for them. And now we talk about the last thing here is call to action. Call to action is just very simple. This is basically the point of everything you write. Tell your audience what to do. If your copy does not have, if everything you've written does not have a call to action, then there was no point of it. Tell your audience what to do. You may be surprised that you say, oh, they will know to follow me now. They are going to know that the natural course of action is to buy the course. Oh, they are going to know that the natural course of action is to share the post. Sometimes it's not that obvious. Human beings need specific directions. So tell them, subscribe here, purchase, buy the book here, get your free trial here. So it's basically what it is, call to action. It's just basically telling your audience what you want them to do and having them do it. The next thing we're looking at is the differences between good copy and bad copy. So for good copy, it is easy to understand. Like I said, it's easy, it's clear, it's concise, it's straight to the point. You focus on your audience, it is compelling. The call to action is clear. You're not saying the call to action is not confusing, it's very clear. It focuses on the reader. It makes the reader the hero. So it's more about your reader. It's not about what you've accomplished over the last 35 years. You're talking about how you can help. Human beings are selfish, so you have to write with that in mind. How you can help them do what they need to do. How you can help them feel better about whatever it is. How you can help them live a healthier life with the nutritious products that you are selling. How you can help them be more productive with the productivity apps that you are marketing. You focus on the benefits rather than the features. Bad copy is confusing. It is self-centered. You focus more on yourself, on your company, on your brand, on what you've accomplished or what you've done. It is nice to reel out, accomplishments and your record of good doings, but most times when people read all that, they're like, oh, that's a great company right there. Unless maybe they are looking to buy something or it's a specific product and you're saying these are reviews. Maybe you're reading out customer reviews that will help people to purchase or give your brand more trust. Then it is advised that when you're writing your body of content to drive sales, that you focus more on your customer. So bad copy is makes use of bland language, so it is just very flat. You are not painting any picture in the reader's mind. You're just it's as if it's ChatGPT that the person is engaging with, and that doesn't really inspire anyone, except the person is really desperate and your write-up or your video or whatever is what they landed on first. Then that might be the only reason they go ahead to purchase whatever or carry out whatever action you're asking them to. But if they have options and you don't create any form of emotion, there is no anger, there is no happiness, there is no security, there is no sense of belonging, you're not creating any form of emotion, then they will likely not choose your brand. So bad copy, in contrast to good copy, focuses on features instead of benefits. Like I said, human beings are selfish, so you have to write with that in mind. Use it to your advantage when you're writing. So let's look at some examples of good and bad copy. So the one on top is the good copy, the one below is bad copy. So this first example is just to look at the clarity. The first one says, our shoes are designed for comfort. Slip them on and feel the difference. Second one, still talking about footwear. Our footwear solutions provide an economically optimized interface for your lower extreme. This is a lot of jargon, and you may feel smart writing it, but you are really defeating the purpose of why you are writing it. Because at the end of the day, even me that is reading it, I'm tired. I read it and I'm like, what is the meaning of economically? What are they talking about? I've seen footwear, but is it like a device? Is it something? What really is this about? And so you're confused and you don't take any action because you don't know what they're talking about. And this is an example of what you should not do. Like, see, this is shorter sentences. This is one very long sentence. This is two short, simple, straight to the point sentences for the example of good copy. So we're going to take, I think there's like 3 more examples of this. So this is an example of focusing on your reader's needs. So first one is the good copy. Save time and get back to what matters most. Our app automates your to-do list in seconds. This is probably a productivity app. Second one, we're proud to announce that our company's app has 50 new features, updated functionality, and improved interface. Reading the second one, you're going to say, oh, that's really great for you guys. Reading the first one, you're going to think, oh, especially if you've been thinking in the line of, I need to be more productive, I need a better schedule. And you see the first line, our app automates your to-do list in seconds. You think, oh, maybe I need to get that app. The wheels are already spinning in your head to take action, even without me saying, download our app. Next thing, this is an example of creating an emotion. This is an example of creating an emotion. Imagine waking up energized and ready to conquer the day. Our coffee makes every morning your best morning. They are selling the emotion of having a good morning, being happy and energized in the morning, basically. If you are somebody that struggles with being alert in the morning, you say, okay, maybe this coffee is what I need to get. Second one, our coffee is made from high quality beans and is available in various flavors. You may look at this and say, oh, but you said I should make it concise. That's why I said writing requires a lot of thought. You have to think, this conciseness now, is it going to convey what I need it to convey? If not, elongate it, put the words that need to make whatever it is you've written punch. But if the length does nothing to add emotion, then you can now reduce it. So, and finally, the last emotion, this is a call to action. Try it today, risk-free for 30 days. Click here to start your free trial. Or you can check out our product if you want. It's very lackluster, does not really drive anybody. But when you see risk-free, the word free on its own makes people want to click and buy things. Especially, there's a lot of free products. You and I can agree with each other that you downloaded a lot of free things that you don't really need just because they were free. And those products or digital ebooks have been there in your library for the past how many months, and you've not even thought about it, but you got it because it was free. You signed up to this person's email newsletter because it was free. So this call to action, adding free to anything you're offering, it may not even be related. Just say, oh, try this for free, get this offer and try this out for free. This is just like an aside, but click here to start your free trial. That's a very good call to action because you've said, oh, get this for free. There's a trust that you've created that if you don't like it, you can stop subscription. So now we move on to the niches in copywriting. There's several niches in copywriting, several different types of copywriting that you can delve into. And this is not even talking about the industry specific copywriting that you can do, because there are different industries. There's fashion, there's tech, there's finance, there's this and that. But within those industries, these are the different types of copywriting that you see people calling for. The most sought after are ad copywriting, that's advertising copywriting, which focuses on writing sales-driven content like TV ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads. You see most times this is what people are asking for. SEO copywriting. With SEO copywriting, SEO is search engine optimization. It's you write in this manner so that your content can rank higher on Google and other search engines. Maybe like another example of a search engine is Bing or YouTube. Those are search engines. So basically using keywords in both your content and your headlines. So your headlines, your meta tags, your content is something that I would advise you to learn, even if you're not going to specialize in SEO copywriting. But I've noticed, like with most job listings, when they're asking for a copywriter, they would usually ask you if you know SEO best practices. So I would say that just take a simple course or two if it's not something you want to specialize in, and learn about SEO. It will really help your writing. It will really help you when you are searching for jobs or looking for clients. Next thing is email copywriting. Next thing is email copywriting. It's basically just email campaigns, email marketing. You're writing emails to engage subscribers. I'm sure a lot of us have a lot of mails that we subscribe to. Those are examples of email copywriting. So there are some mails that immediately we see this person pop up in our notifications while opening the mail to see what they've written. That's because they have found a way to keep us engaged and we are their target audience. There are some other mails that will forever stay in your unread folder, and sometimes you see the notification and you are angry because you are not who they were writing to, but somehow you just ended up subscribing to them. Then there's social media copywriting, just short form copy, often written to drive engagement on social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. And there's also technical copywriting, which is where I chose my specialty. This is where e-commerce falls into product descriptions, business-to-business content. So you're writing from maybe one business to the other. So you're not writing from business to clients or business to customers. You're writing business to business. So it's like maybe between PwC and Ernst & Young, you're doing copywriting for them both. So you can choose to narrow down and just you can learn. I would advise that you know a little bit about how to do all, and then pick one that you want to specialize in and learn everything that you can learn. Because when it comes to writing, when you specialize, it is easier for you to get better paying jobs. It's easier for you to get better paying gigs because you can market it as though oh, I know a lot about this, and if you give me a chance to write your ads, I will give you the best results possible. I'm better than this person because this is all the knowledge I've gathered over the years that cannot be transferred or taught, blah, 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 blah. So I would advise that the most important one I'll say that you should learn is SEO. SEO is important for anything that you are doing. Learn how to research keywords, learn how to use keywords. It's so important in every single marketing or copywriting job or even content writing job that I've seen. SEO is usually required. It may not be required, but it's preferred if you have that knowledge. And the next thing is best practices for copywriting. So the first thing is obviously know your audience. When you know your audience, everything else is easier. Your research is easier. I can't stress it enough. Know your audience, know who they are, know what they want, know their needs, know their pain points, so that you can use it to your advantage and write content and write copy that really speaks to them. Next thing will be research and observation. Do a lot. Learn. Research is a skill. Learn how to scrape the internet for information. Learn how to dig up things. ChatGPT has made us ask it questions and it will give you a lot of answers, but ChatGPT sometimes is not correct. So still go to Google, go to YouTube. Don't just trust one AI source. Don't trust one source when you're writing. It's important that you collect information from different sources, form your own thoughts, and reference the places you got this information from. Observe real life. A great way to be able to write authentic copy, authentic work that really speaks to real people is by observing everyday real life. And you notice that most times maybe you notice a problem, you are able to solve a problem that you've directly been involved in. You can speak to things that you've directly felt or somebody that you know has gone through. So maybe you may not have gone through loss or grief, but somebody you know or a close friend has experienced grief or has experienced loss in recent years, and they share this experience with you. So maybe you're marketing a mental health checklist or a mental health course or something, and you know exactly what grief people who are going through grief, people who are going through seasons of loss need when it comes to their mental health. And so this can be your target audience, and you say, oh, I've done this, and you write a beautiful article, beautiful social media post targeted to them with their specific needs, because you have observed, you have collected information from real life people. The next thing would be to keep a swipe file. A swipe file in this case is just a folder with examples. So this is something I do. I always say that generally when it comes to writing, you cannot be a good writer if you don't read other people's work. You will not know what good copy looks like if you don't read and engage with it. Go to Medium, go to Google, you can even ask ChatGPT, give me links to 10 articles, 10 good copy. Give me links to 10 great articles that made hundreds or thousands of sales. Search on Google, save all these examples, go through them from time to time. Also have a folder where you have bad examples, so you know what not to do. When you're looking at these things, when you're engaging with these things, look at the headline, look at the outline. How did they write? What was their structure? Did they start with a story? Did they start with a problem statement? How did they end it? How did they write their call to action? What formats did they use? What templates did they use? This is all you have in your swipe file, so that you can go back to it and you can consistently refresh your mind, increase or grow your swipe file as the day passes by. Today, your folder can just have one article inside it. Tomorrow, it can have 5 articles that you've read and you said, oh, I really like this person's writing style. I really like how they wrote this, and it really spoke to me, even if I'm not their target audience. You keep it inside. Look at different examples. This person is writing for tech. How did they write? This person is writing for fashion. How did they write? It's important that you have a lot of field knowledge so that when you are writing, it is better. Be persuasive, but stay honest. Don't lie. encourage as much as you're a salesperson when you're writing copy. Copywriting is all about sales. Your marketing is the foundation for marketing. There's no marketing course that you take that will not touch on copywriting. So you need to know how to sell things. Persuasive writing is a skill that I would say everybody should look into and learn more about. Be persuasive. Learn how to cajole and compel your reader in a subtle, sometimes obvious manner to do what you want them to do. But don't lie. Don't say that we've sold 500 of these products and then you don't even have one review. Be as honest as possible. Be as honest as possible. It's when you're not honest, when you make all these lofty, out of this world claims that this person bought this course and in the next one day they made $50,000. While that may have happened, the normal man saying that would think there's no way that's possible, because your mind will always try to rationalize all these outrageous claims and it will reduce your credibility in the eyes of your readers. The next thing would be to test and revise. Look at different methods, look at different outlines. That's where you visit your swipe file. Oh, I've tested this and I've not really seen results. Let me try something else. Let me use another method. Let me use this other thing. And then you test it against each other. Okay, B works better than A, so I'll be writing like this from now on. Okay, A works better than B, but A is not working as much as I want it to. So let me try another method. Experiment. It's okay to experiment with your audience. You can use different formats, different templates, and find which one works best, find which one drives more results. And finally, practice often. You cannot get better at copywriting. You cannot become the greatest copywriter in the world if you don't write and if you don't practice everything you're learning. You can take 50 courses, you can pay thousands of naira to learn the skill, but if you don't practice, then there's no way you're going to get better and get to the level where you are earning as much as you want to. And so with that, we have come to the end of the session. I will ask if you have any questions, if you have any contributions or observations. Now is the time. Thank you so much for listening.
Well, thank you so much for this. I personally learned a whole lot. So, like she said, if anyone has a question, you can just, wave your hands, just raise up your hands, just tap on the hand button and raise your hands if you have any questions so that they will be addressed. Any question you have on copywriting, feel free to ask. Okay, Fauzia, you have a question. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Hi everyone, good evening. Hi Eloisa. Thank you so much for this session. I'd like to know, what if, for me, I'm a beginner. I don't know anything about copyright. In fact, this is the first time I'm listening to someone speak on copywriting, literally. So for me now that is interested, do you have any recommendations or do you have anything that I can just kickstart my career in copywriting with? And if you have any recommendations, can you just share? And also, would this slide be available to us after this session?
Okay, hi Fauzia, thank you so much for that question. Yes, the slides will be available. I also curated a document, a PDF with links to courses, to some free courses, some YouTube videos, some YouTubers' YouTube videos that helped me to start on my copywriting journey. Obviously, I would still call myself a beginner in this copywriting journey, but this has really helped me to take it to the next level and have a better understanding of what it is I need to do to even be as confident as presenting and teaching other people. So after the class, I will share the PDF with everyone. So there's free courses, YouTube videos that you can watch very quickly, and also some samples that you can work on to build your portfolio if you're just starting out. So with this information, I feel you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you'd have gotten some points where you could research some more on, because I feel it helps with your copywriting too. When you go back, do some more research with what you've taken, because even with those videos, with those courses, you're still going to need to do some more research. You're still going to need to teach yourself. Copywriting involves a lot of teaching yourself, because it's not everybody that reveals or tells you everything. No, I don't think I've seen anywhere that they've given me all the information I need at once. Most times I have to source everywhere, and I've done my best to create a list of everything that I've sourced for in the past few months that have really helped me on this journey. So yes, that'll be available after the class.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. I don't know if any other person has a question before we close. And if you feel like you're too shy to speak, don't forget you can always type it in the chat box or on the group. So we'll just give maybe a 1 minute window for any other person with a question to just raise your hands, and then we'll end the class. Okay, so while we wait, we would be having subsequent classes as time goes on. We started with content writing, introduction to content writing, and the last class we had was SEO, that's search engine optimization in content writing. And right now we are having our copywriting class. So as time goes on, we'll be having short introductory classes, where we have free, they are free, like this ones we've had. We'll have classes on poetry, on short stories. It depends on what you are interested in, but we will also have paid classes, or courses as I'd like to call them. We are currently working on a beginner's class for this year, because we usually have a beginner's class every year. I think we didn't have one last year, but we had 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So we'll be having one this year, and we are currently planning towards it. Don't worry, it would be very affordable, and as members of the writers will definitely get discounts. So let's look forward to those classes. And while we wait for these classes, let's not forget to learn every day. Writers Web is open for your writing questions, for writing opportunities. We have a lot of resources to help you grow. So feel free, engage, ask questions, respond, and I'm very sure you're going to have a great time with us as a community. Okay, since we have no question, thank you very much for joining us. I'm very sure you learned a lot from this class, and I really appreciate you, Eloisa. Thank you for the value you dropped with us tonight.